When I took the Power of Awareness class with Tar Brock and Jack Kornfield, one of the classes Tar talked about a story of a tiger at a zoo. The tiger lived in a cage about 12 by 12 that would pace back and forth, back and forth. And the zookeepers wanted to help her, so they put her in a new area that was more of a natural environment with acres and acres of land. And they were so excited to bring the tiger here, hoping she'd be so much happier. And so they brought her to this new area, this natural environment. She went in to this area with acres of land and immediately went into the cage that was there and paced back and forth until there was no grass left under her. And she did that the rest of her life. When we believe our thoughts, we live in a reality based on our thoughts, where we create judgments and perceptions and stories based on these thoughts, whether they're positive or negative. And then, because we live in the reality of these thoughts, we miss the possibilities that might be available for us, because we become imprisoned by this movie, these stories in our mind, just like the tiger. Why do we give so much power to our thoughts? What if we realize our thoughts don't have to be a reality? They're just thoughts. They're just words. They're words that we don't even have to give meaning to. What if we start paying attention instead to the space between our thoughts? We aren't our thoughts. We aren't our stories. So I invite you to this meditation. We're going to have 1 minute of silence where you're going to be counting every thought that comes to you. Or if you have a bag of cotton balls, paper clips, or something like that perhaps, you can place one down on the floor every time you have a thought. Just to notice how many thoughts you have. And there's no judgment. You're just noticing with curiosity. Oh, I wonder what number I'm going to get. And just being honest with yourself. Right. So we're going to set the timer for 1 minute. If you have a timer nearby, you can use my timer. And we're going to start now. Just thinking about the number that you got, how many thoughts, or counting the cotton balls. See how many thoughts you had that came and went, like clouds that drift in the sky. Our mind always has thoughts coming in and then drifting away like those clouds. Just make note of that number. And now, get your journal ready if you have it handy. And we're going to do the same thing, except this time, instead of counting our thoughts, we're just going to be writing the thoughts down. As soon as a thought comes to us, we write it down. And just quickly write it. And being honest with each thought. And you can get your own timer, or you can use mine. And we'll be doing this for another minute. Starting now. And just finishing up what your last thought was. And putting your pen or pencil down and just reviewing the thoughts. Noticing even if there's a theme. How many of your thoughts tend to be of the past? How many tend to be in the future? How many tend to be in the present? We often tend to have thoughts that are based in the past or in the future. And just notice what these thoughts are. Do they tend to catastrophize? Is it about worrying? Is it about fear? What type of emotion tends to play out with these thoughts? Perhaps anxiety. And just noticing without judgment, just with curiosity, as you just become aware of these thoughts, these words. Noticing thoughts. What are they? What words come to you? Pictures, perhaps emotional connection to the thoughts, or kinesthetic feeling. We have waterfall of thoughts through us endlessly, and that's just how our mind works. We don't have to judge ourselves for that. We're rigged to scan for danger, to always observe and orient ourselves to time and space. And meditation is not getting rid of this survival mode that our brain goes in to protect us. Instead, it's discovering how we relate to our thoughts. And if we can let go of our attachment to our story, what our thoughts tell us, and become aware of that spaciousness that exists between our thoughts, as well as aware of our attachment to our thoughts, and perhaps feeling less attached. Just realizing, oh, that was number one thought. Oh, number two thought. That's a thought. And just realizing that without judging yourself. And instead embracing yourself. Because you know what? You're human, right? We all have thoughts, continual thoughts.